2 more of the brackets to go. Keep in mind, at the end of the show, we will once again go over all the brackets. We'll also give you the sites and the dates once again. We've had them on the screen. Maybe you didn't pick up exactly the dates. We'll recap those for you. How we got in just a few moments. As again, we take a look at the last 2 of the regionals. We're going to go to the South Central and the Great Lakes Regional. Let's start in the South Central. We're in Central Oklahoma and the Broncos. In Central Regional, as those 2 teams all battling with the top 2 seeds, trying to see what they can do. Top seed Central Oklahoma, along with Washburn College. Let's take a look now at the Great Lakes Regional. They'll be played in Indianapolis, Indiana, on March 6th, 7th, and 8th. The number 1 seed there will be the University of Indianapolis, and they will be they're 3rd in the NCAA poll, a solid shooting team, as you can see. They like to play defense as well, 23-4. And again, they'll be coming in as a solid breakout runner to try to win the game on their home floor. They'll be going up against Grand Valley State University of Michigan, 23-5. The Lakers make their 4th appearance in the playoffs, first since '92. And that Hawkeye defense forces opponents into bad shots. And they'll hope to do so against Oakland University of Michigan, 21-7. The Pioneers make 4 straight trips to the Big Dance, the 4th best 3-point shooting team. You can see defense on one side, offense the other. That'll be a good first-round matchup. The other of the half of the bracket, looking in the Great Lakes, is going to be the number 2 seed. That's Northern Kentucky.
Well, Xavier and Kentucky both looking to close their regular seasons on a winning note. Solomon Wilcox has the highlights.
Plus, it was all cheers at NKU today as announcements were made for the Division II tournament. All the details are straight ahead.
Virginia Tech, 81. But starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. Monday morning. Tension mounted as NKU waited to hear from the Division II selection committee today. When the news finally came, the Norse was elated with the outcome, but puzzled by the selection process.
The other of the half of the bracket, looking in the Great Lakes, is going to be the number 2 seed. That's Northern Kentucky.
We have to be happy that we got a bye in the first round. But I really feel that the decision as to where this tournament was going to be played and who the number 1 seed was made probably 2 weeks ago, because there's no way that it would ever ended up the way it did.
We won there 2 years ago, and we know we can win there this year. And our team we feed off being the underdogs in that. And I think we're going to go in there and play tough and come out a winner.
The Norse will play Friday against the winner of Quincy Southern Indiana game. Tip-off is set for 5:38 p.m. And the University of Indianapolis, which is the host school and number 1 seed in the Great Lakes region.
For Division I teams, but this was the big day in Division II. That meant players, coaches, and fans hope for good news at Northern Kentucky.
Other of the half of the bracket, looking in the Great Lakes, is going to be the number 2 seed. That's Northern Kentucky. They are 26-4.
The crowd liked the news. NKU will play the winner of the Quincy Southern Indiana game in Indianapolis on Friday. But head coach Ken Shields isn't as happy. He thinks his team deserved a number 1 seed and the home game that goes with it.
I'm happy we got a bye. I'm not happy that we're not hosting this tournament. I just feel very, very strongly that we had all the ingredients to take and have this tournament right here, and we should have had a bye along with it.
Mary Finch Festival. We tracked the
Division II championship game last year, and the road back to the Final Four begins on Friday. Today, the Norse received a number 2 seed in the tourney, but in Division II, the number 1 seed gets to start the tournament at home. In this case, that's Indianapolis.
It's mind-boggling to me that Indianapolis ended up with a number 1 seed. I just really, based on the way that they finished their season, based on everything else, it's really good that we got the bye, but I really struggle with the way this thing came out.
To the regular season, hello, postseason, and very soon. Here's the week ahead. It all gets started of Southern Miss St. Louis on Thursday. Xavier will be in Philadelphia for the A10 tournament. Channel 9 will carry their first game against the Temple Duquesne winner. That is also Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Friday night, NKU begins its road back to the Division II championship game when they meet the winner of Quincy Southern Indiana. The Norse will be playing on the campus of University of Indianapolis. Also on Friday, Kentucky looks to get back on track with their first match.
In overtime. Well, Northern Kentucky will be heading to Indianapolis to start the NCAA Division II tournament. The Norse are seated second in the Great Lakes region, and here's how it all breaks out. The Norse get a first-round bye, so they'll play the winner of Southern Indiana and Quincy on Friday night. Tip-off 5:30 on the campus of the University of Indianapolis. Meanwhile, seated in the South Regional, they'll meet Roanoke on Wednesday night in Roanoke.
Norse still wondering how they ended up on the road, seeded number 2 in the Great Lakes region. The Norse, with a first-round bye, will play their first game against the winner of the Quincy Southern Indiana game on Friday at 5:30 in Indianapolis. And ladies, 3-point records. He and the Cats leave tonight for St. Louis. They will play in the second round on Thursday. Well, for the second consecutive week, Papa John's Star has set a great local record, but it's actually a phenomenal national record. It boggles the mind. Tim Bray introduces us to Paul Cluxton, who can truly say he's perfect from the line.
Paul Cluxton figures he may have shot 75,000 free throws in his lifetime. Most have been nothing but net, just tingling the twine. His record-setting run started rather harmlessly. Coach Kenny Shields saw it build to 30 in a row, and then 34 for the school record. People started to notice.
Once you get on a streak, you start focusing more, and it just snowballing.
When the Norse played at SIU Edwardsville last Thursday, the streak was etched in the record book. Cluxton stepped to the line and calmly tied, and then broke the NCAA's all-time record, 75 consecutive free throws. The shot that set the mark drew iron, but pierced the cylinder.
Now, I've had probably 5 or 6 that hit rim, roll in, but you got to have some luck in a little streak like that.
When we caught up with Paul in the gym this week, we asked him to shoot a few.
I just line my foot up with the nail in the middle of the foul line to line the basket up. Take one dribble and bend my knees just a little bit and try and keep my elbow in and look at the rim the whole time, and hopefully it goes in.
Pure and silky smooth. Cluxton hasn't missed all season. He's delivered 81 straight times. His goal is to finish the year without a blemish, preferably once again in the national championship game. Tim Bray, 12 Sports.
Absolutely amazing for this guy. Good news all around.
In the second half. In Division II, NKU buried Quincy 82-54 in the regional semifinals. Minor with 21. Norris advanced to
Of the GLVC. I think our game with Kentucky Wesleyan 3 seasons ago was still the best.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Let's go back and check out some of the highlights of the NKU and Quincy game in Indianapolis last Friday.
And NKU gets off to a quick start as Shannon Minor nails a couple of threes to give the Norse a 6-0 lead. However, the Hawks counter on this 3 by Jay Driscoll to even things up at 6. But the Norse catch fire and go on a 17-0 run. Paul Cluxton comes up with the steal and takes it all the way for the layup. DeMond Lane then feeds LaRon Moore, who gets the jam. Cluxton then buries the 3 as NKU had a 13-point advantage. Cliff Clinton then passes to Andy Listerman, who gets the layup to complete the run as the Norse led 23-6 as the NKU fans make noise Later, it's Lane to Moore for dunk number 2 as the black and gold led 33-16. Andy Listerman then gets the tray as Northern Kentucky led 45-26 at the half. In the second half, it was more the same as Clinton scores as he was fouled. Minor then hits another 3 as NKU rolls 82-54.
So an 82-54 win. Shannon Minor leading North scores with 21 points.
The Miami Redskins earn themselves a ticket to the big dance.
Plus, NKU battles down to the wire for a trip to the Elite Eight. It's all straight ahead.
When you have a player who has made every free throw this season and another who is a three-point specialist, winning basketball games are very easy, such as the case with NKU and Paul Cluxton and Shannon Minor. Minor would go to work early. He would get the alley-oop pass to LaRon Moore. Moore finished the game with 35 points. Then Paul Cluxton would go to the baseline. He would show the Midas touch as he tickles the net. NKU was too much for Oakland. Andy Listerman would find Moore, who finished off Oakland 101-87.
They had us worried, but our seniors stepped up late, and our ball club did a hell of a job. I'm really happy for them. And
in the championship game of the Great Lakes region in Indianapolis Saturday night, senior LaRon Moore made it apparent he is not ready to have his collegiate career come to a close. Moore scored a career-high 35 points. He also pulled down 8 rebounds. Paul Cluxton was the Norse's second leading scorer. He had 19. His free throw streak continues. 6 for 6 at the charity stripe, which brings his total to 91 straight. NKU is headed back to Louisville for the NCAA Division II Elite Eight because of their 101-87 win.
and he didn't score 3 in the second half.
Well, and I know you'll love to do this. We'll look back and look at some of the highlights as well as some of the post-game comments from the Norse players. Saturday night's Great Lakes Region Championship game, NKU against Oakland University.
The NKU fans were ready. So was the mascot, and so were 2 members of the press box crew as the Norse look to defend their Great Lakes Regional crown against surprise opponent Oakland University. Early on, the Norse take a 4-0 lead as Shannon Minor feeds Cliff Clinton, who gets a layup. However, Oakland rallies to even things up at 6 thanks to a couple of threes from Kevin Kovich and Mike Riley. The Norse take a 10-8 lead as Minor lobs to LaRon Moore, who gets the jam, as the Norse fans love it. Kevin Listerman then knocks down the 3 as the NKU lead was at 5 at 15-10. Here's brother Andy then knocking down another tray as NKU was up 20-13. But the Pioneers are able to stay in the contest thanks to terrific three-point shooting. Here Riley nails a couple of more threes as Oakland cut the Norse lead to 2 at 23-21. Later, Paul Cluxton gives the Norse a 33-25 advantage by knocking down a 3 of his own. However, Oakland's torrid three-point shooting continued as Craig Frohock cut the NKU lead to 3 at 33-30. Mike Riley then knocks down his 5th 3 of the evening as Oakland took a 40-37 advantage. Kovacs then hits a couple of more trays as the Pioneers took a 46-45 lead. Moore then reclaims the lead for NKU with 1 from beyond the arc. But as time was running out in the first half, Riley hits another 3 for a total of 11 in the first half for the Pioneers as a team as they led 49-48. In the second half, it's Shannon Minor with the 3 to cut the Oakland lead to 1 at 54-53. Kevin Listerman then comes back and feeds Moore for the slam dunk as the Norse hung tough. Cluxton then comes through with a couple of threes as NKU built a 6-point advantage at 66-60. Then with a little over 9 minutes to go, LaRon Moore comes up with the two-handed jam as the Norse led 77-67, and LaRon says, "Yeah, I'm the man," as the NKU faithful loved it. Oakland does come back to cut the lead to 4 after this Dan Buza layup with 3:30 left, but Shannon Minor delivers a clutch three-pointer to make it 87-80. LaRon Moore then puts a capper on the night as he comes up with another dunk as Northern Kentucky earns their second consecutive Great Lakes Regional crown with a 101-87 victory.
It's being a senior and trying to step up. You know, everyone's telling me you're a senior, you got to step up, and I know that. And everyone's stepping up, not just me. You know, LaRon, Clux, the Listermans, the Mott, everyone's stepping up, and that's what we need, everyone to step up. And if we do that, we're going to win a national championship.
I think it was like a prize fight in the first half. We didn't know much about them. They didn't know much about us, and we were just kind of feeling our way through it. And last night we played so much help defense, I think we were still in that mode a little bit. And then first half, you know, we were still trying to help too much. Second half, we just said, hey, we got to lock down on their people. They were stepping up and hitting too many big shots, and we had to really suck it up and tough it out.
Yeah, we feel good about, you know, the way we played here. We feel like we play like in the Elite Eight, you know, going to the next championship, we can win it all because we've been playing good defense ever since we've been down here, and that was bothered a lot of teams.
Feels real good right now, for sure. We got some good teams we got to play still, so we're just going to keep trying to focus.
Well, they're a tremendous three-point shooting team, and we really gave them too many good looks in the first half, and they hit 11 threes, and we really felt that was the key. You know, we had to give up two-pointers instead of three-pointers the second half, and we really extended our defense, and it made a difference. And they were a little tired, and I think that showed in the end. But we got together at halftime, and we said, we got to win. We got 20 minutes left. And these three seniors are just tremendous leaders, and they took control, and everybody just fulfilled their role. We got a lot out of Damon Lane and Andy, and it was just a tremendous team effort.
I try to step up. I just want to come out here and play and win, and that's what I set my mind to do, and we did it.
And that's what LaRon did do, play and win.
Wake, the 3 seed in the West. Also this, NKU going to the Elite Eight.
From NKU have moved to the Elite Eight of Division II basketball for the second year in a row. This is how they did it last night against Oakland in the league finals. NKU went to Indy determined, and they earn another trip to Louisville.
It's great to win. That particular team had played so well to get here, and they had us worried, but our seniors stepped up late, and our ball club did a hell of a job. I'm really happy for them. And
it feels real good. We're very enthusiastic, and we just hope to play hard.
That was LaRon Moore. Meanwhile, Paul Cluxton continues to hit foul shots with amazing accuracy. He hasn't missed this season. He has now nailed 91 in a row. Welcome back, everyone, to Sports of All Sorts on the day the NCAA announced its field of 64 teams. Terry, Ralph, and Scott are here, and I don't care what level you play at. You make 91 foul shots in a row. That's some shooting.
I can't make 91 straight in my backyard with nobody around me.
I can't even miss 91. You have the heartbreak.
Every Sunday night, you got a great show.
Thank you.
I got a two-part question. I'm going to go from Ohio to Kentucky real quick here. First of all,
hey, how y'all doing?
Okay, what's up?
I just wanted to say at first I'm proud from being from this part of the country right now. Isn't it awesome? Huh? Cincinnati, Xavier, Miami, I can just go on the list. Kentucky's still in it, thank God. Louisville, even though, not too many people around here like Louisville, I kind of, it's a hometown team. I was wondering, back in the Division II, Norsemen, how are they doing? What's going on with them? And what do you think about Mr. Cluxton? I think he's at 91 right now.
Yeah.
Has he got a chance for, the NBA, or what do you think? I know he's not a real large guy, but, he's got 91, and I think that's a little more than Mr. O'Neal ever had in a row. What do you think?
Well, Northern doesn't play until the 19th.
They play Wednesday night.
They are in the Elite Eight. That'll be held in Louisville, Kentucky, and they have as good a shot, if not better, than anyone else. They're perhaps probably going to be the front runners, and they're playing well. They've had some good wins, and I think this might be the year for Kenny to get that tattoo on his arm that he's promised his players. I can't wait. I want to be on hand to see that. I can't imagine that, but evidently he's going to do it. Paul Cluxton, 91 free throws in a row. I mean, just absolutely awesome. But in terms of him playing professional basketball, I would think that's about slim to none.
Yeah. I'd like to say congratulations to Coach Ken Shield. He did it not only this year, but he did it last year, and he did it the year before. He's taken a program that was, at the cellar and taken it up to a very, very respectable program and a powerhouse on his level. And, he got an earring last year. This year he's going to get a tattoo. Next year he may have a Dennis Rodman. He may have a Campbell or something painted in his head. But congratulations to you, Coach Ken Shields.
And I echo that same thought with Terry. I think Coach Ken Shields does an excellent job with the program he has over there. I like to see him go up and do a Division I because I think he brings a different flair to the game at a Division I level. You know, how many coaches go into a locker room and before the game tell the players, I love you, and the little things that count. And I think that's not something that is odd. You know, people look at that and say, that's odd. You know, coaches tell you I love you all the time. I mean, but when that's said, people go, oh, coaches say that? Yeah, they do say that all the time.
Just so for fans who might be thinking about going down to 9 o'clock Wednesday night down at the Louisville Convention Center. If they win Wednesday night, they play Thursday at 9 o'clock. And it's a nice place to watch basketball. Louisville's a nice town to visit, so get down there and support the Norse. We still have some time.
Welcome back to the Norse Report, and we're here with LaRon Moore and Paul Cluxton, two members of last year's All-Tourney team, and of course, two key members, senior members of this year's Norse basketball team. Guys, welcome to the show. And first off, LaRon, as we get done taping the show, you're going to board the bus and head back to the Elite Eight. You know, how's it feel heading back to Louisville?
It feels pretty good being senior, and this is when we got to do it. This is last year to do something for me, Paul, and Shannon.
Paul, what are your thoughts here as, you're heading down to Louisville, a place you fell one game short last season, and I guess the thought is go down there and win one more game, huh?
We're going to try and win more than one. We're going to focus on that first one, and then hopefully we can beat Texas and move on and see what happens.
LaRon, it seems like, I mean, really, you, Paul, and Shannon Minor, the three seniors, have really just upped your game. I know at the regional last week in Indianapolis, here at the end of the season. Do you sense that, really? I mean, you had the great game, 35 points against Oakland, career high.
I think we just want to win, and we want to get as far as we can. That's a national championship, and it's our last year, and we got to go all out.
Paul, thoughts on, as far as stepping up your game here?
I'm kind of a role player in between Shannon and LaRon. If they go out and they have a good game, then defense kind of focuses on them, and then I get some open shots. So it's up to LaRon and Shannon. I'll take what I can get.
Paul, of course, you had a lot of, I guess, press attention, whatever, this year, the free throw streak. And as you look at that, I mean, you've pretty much said all year, hey, I'll trade that for a national championship any day. And but the fact is that, you're still perfect on the season, and you've set the national record. I guess the first question everybody would want to ask is just, how did you become such a great free throw shooter? What's your training like for it? How do you do it?
Just repetition. Coach says key to learning is repetition. That's all it is. Just go out there and practice, and hopefully get some talent from the beginning, and then just go out there and work hard with it and see what comes of it.
LaRon, what do you think about this guy? I mean, able to knock down these free throws. I mean, I think your percentage has gotten better this season, but still, when you talk about 100% making every free throw, I got to believe that really gets the respect of a lot of players too. Other players.
Respect of a lot of players. He brags in the room a little bit, but it's all right. I'll catch him one day.
LaRon, talk a little bit about your decision to come to Northern Kentucky University. I think, Kenny Shields has mentioned on a number of times, you, Paul, and Shannon, really what you've done for this program has been absolutely incredible. You look at a program that really did not have a lot of success. They had been to the NCAA tournament one time, and that was back in the mid to late 70s. First off, talk about your decision to come to NKU, and really, did you expect to have the success team-wise that you've had since you've come to Northern?
I think it was more of a family-oriented based decision. They wanted me to come up here and get my education as well as play basketball. And, the basketball program was turned around, and that's all you could say. We're going national championship again, hopefully, for the second year in a row. So that's all you can ask.
Paul, talk about your decision to come to Northern Kentucky University and your thoughts on really a program that really hadn't had a lot of success as far as wins and losses.
The coaches brought in a bunch of players that could just work together. You got Shannon's point, real quick penetrator, and you got me at the side shooting. You got LeBron, you know, slasher type guy. You got Reggie inside. We've always had a, you know, pretty mobile big guy. They just believe in mobile people, and the chemistry just happened to work out, and it's been success ever since we got there.
LeBron, I guess, it has been great when you look back at all the moments here. And I know you guys, you probably didn't know a whole lot 4 years before here as far as NKU, but for somebody who's followed the program for a long time, I mean, and a lot of the fans up here, I mean, it's been tremendous. And you got to feel good to really be a part of really turning around the program at Northern Kentucky.
I feel real good about being here all 4 years, and if I ever do it again, I would do it again. You know, I can't say nothing. The coaching staff is real good. The fans are real good. You know, the atmosphere around Northern Kentucky is real good. You know, it's a great place to play ball.
Paul, can you guys do it this year? Can you win this whole thing?
I hope so. This is all, you know, kind of a waste for me, but we want to go up there and win 3 games. That's all we can do, and just take one game at a time, play as hard as we can.
LeRon, you know, you guys have had the experience of being down there one previous year. You think that's going to help this time around?
I think it's going to help because we know the atmosphere, you know, it's going to be real energized down there. And we got a lot of people from Northern Kentucky coming down to cheer us on, and hopefully that would lead us on to the national championship.
Okay, one more question. What's going to be the key to, first things first, what's going to be the key to beating Texas Commerce? First, you, Paul.
Probably interior defense. They're going to try and post us up, post us smaller guards up, and if LeRon does his job, he'll be right behind me, ready to block some shots, and that's should be the focus.
LeRon, what do you think?
I think playing together and rebounding. You know, if we don't rebound, you know, we can't get our transition going, and that's a big key to our offense.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Hopefully we'll have you back here next week with that national championship trophy.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back with Shannon Miner as well as head coach Kenny Shields right after these messages.
Biggest block.
Welcome back to the Norris Report. We're here with Shannon Miner, the third senior on this year's NKU Norris basketball team, as well as head coach Ken Shields. And Shannon, you guys, as we say, if we get done taping here, you're going to board the bus, head down to Louisville to the Elite Eight, except kind of a different capacity. Last year was your first time down there. This season, you guys have a year under your belt as far as the Elite Eight. Is that going to help you guys, you think, this time around?
Yeah, I think so. Us 3 seniors have to lead kind of by example and just kind of show the other 2 or 3 guys, you know, what to expect. But as far as everybody being down there and the coaching staff, we feel pretty relaxed in that and going down there because we know what to expect this time.
I ask you the same question I asked LeRon and Paul, really. You know, you come to Northern Kentucky University, a school that certainly not terrible, but, you know, basically about 500, hadn't had a lot of success as far as, you know, wins in the Great Lakes Valley Conference. Did you dream that you could really turn this program around like you guys, you know, have?
No, well, at first we didn't really think about that. We were just, you know, focusing on just getting to be 500 and just trying to get a winning season, and then kind of just started, you know, building and rolling on after that. And right now I think that's our biggest accomplishment so far is building the program up. But if we win this national championship, I think that'll rank up there above that.
As you go down, your first opponent, Texas A&M Commerce, you know, you won 2 games in that tournament last year, 2 close games. What's the big key to having success in a tournament like that, do you think?
Well, I think playing defense, basically, like LeRon said it before. I mean, he just realized the sense of urgency in the last game, and he needed to step up his game. And I'm sure anyone on our team can do that. And that's, we just feel like we got to do it now or it's never. And that's the way LeRon felt the last game, and that's what helped us to win that last game.
As you go in against, you know, first things first, Texas A&M Commerce, you know, what's going to be the key in that game, do you think?
Well, just stopping them. They're so athletic in that, and like I said about their post players, and they like to post up the guards. And I think if we can rebound well, all 5 people out on the court, and just control the tempo of the game, we should come out with a win.
Coach, you know, as I say, I know senior day in Regents Hall, you played that last home game against Fort Wayne. Seems like a long time ago now, but I think you were the most emotional person in the building as you saw your 3 seniors take the floor there in the ceremony before the game. And really, I guess that was more or less a reflection back on what these 3 young men really have meant to the NKU basketball program.
Well, it was almost like divine intervention 4 years ago when we had the
opportunity to bring these 3 young men into the program to join our other people. In Shannon Minor, we had a real fine, quick point guard who could distribute it, great penetrator, good free throw shooter who could shoot the 3 and loved to play basketball. In Paul Cluxton, we had, again, one of the greatest shooters that's ever played the game in college basketball. And another guy that likes to play and works at his game. And then, of course, with LaRon Moore, we had a strong interior player who was a slasher, who could post, who could leap, who was electrifying. And we combined these 3 guys. These 3 fellows, again, are cornerstones because part of our success is related to the fact that they loved to play basketball, and they played it. There weren't other things more important in their life as far as like jobs and things. And they joined with all the other personnel, and it's all part of the success we've had.
Shannon, thanks for stopping by today. And Coach, best of luck. And folks, you got to go down. Commonwealth Convention Center. Plenty of tickets will be available. You can just go down and really pick them up at the gate. And right in downtown Louisville, easy, plenty of parking around the facility. And come down and support the Norse. They deserve it. And hopefully we'll be talking about the national championship next week. That's the Norse Report for now. And until next time, this is Don Weber saying thanks for watching.
Well, this weekend, many dreams, not to mention basketball pools, were smashed in the NCAA basketball tournament.
But one Tri-State College's bid is just beginning. DJ has details coming in sports.
But first, let's take a look.
But fun might be over for some Tri-Staters, but the NKU Norse and their fans are still in their version of the big show. The Norse headed out from campus this afternoon bound for Louisville. They play Texas A&M Commerce at the Commonwealth Convention Center Wednesday night in the Division II Elite 8.
We know what it's going to be like. Before, we were always asking questions, what's it going to be like when we get down there, what kind of banquets we're going to go to and that, and what kind of media attention we're going to get. But now we've been down there and that, and the second time around, I think we'll be more relaxed.
The NIT second round is on tonight. Packed the bus, departed for Louisville in the Elite 8 today. The Norse back for another crack at it. They were runner-ups a year ago. Experience could be a factor for these guys this year.
A lot of people going for the first time, you really don't know what to expect. So us being our second time, maybe we can tell a couple of guys that haven't been there yet what to expect. And we feel pretty confident going down there.
Well, the Highland.
No longer be competing. Northern Kentucky's basketball team is on its way to the Elite 8. The Norse play Texas A&M Commerce in Wednesday's Division II semifinals. NKU hit the road this afternoon around 1.
Cincinnati's first and only primetime newscast continues. Sports is coming up.
In the last 2 years, he's had his head shaved and his ear pierced. This year, NKU coach Ken Shields promises a tattoo if his team wins a championship. I'm Dan Horde. We'll hear from the Norse in sports. I'd like to quickly point out that tonight's musical choice did not come from my personal collection. Basketball is religion in Kentucky, and this year fans have plenty to be thankful for. The state has 3 survivors in the Division I and II men's tournaments. Only California, with 4 teams, has more. The UK Friday night in Syracuse. NKU is already one of 8 teams still playing at the Division II level. The Norse can move to the Final Four by beating Texas A&M Commerce on Wednesday night in Louisville. The Norse hopped on a bus for the short trip this afternoon, just as they did last year when they won 2 games at Freedom Hall before losing in the national championship.
We've been through it all, everything from the reception to the banquet to the media, the situations, and the location. So it should be to our advantage. And having been there and having been successful, though we came up just a little short last year, hopefully will work in our favor.
Being down there once, we know what it's going to like being at the banquets and having the media down there, and that, a lot of teams aren't going to have that advantage. So I think that us being down there already once last year is going to help us a lot.
Sounds like those banquets are a big deal. Wednesday's game will start around 9 o'clock. Well, you've probably heard the rumors that
layoff. The NKU Norse are camped out in Louisville at the moment, getting ready to play Texas A&M Commerce tomorrow night in the Division II Elite Eight. In years past, that would be a little daunting playing this deep into the season, but no more. Last year's trip to the championship game helped this team get acclimated to big games with bigger consequences.
Our guys will know what it's about and the challenge that's in front of them, and then it simply comes to stepping up and performing up to your ability. And I expect that our young men will.
Speaking of performers, Mike Emsing.
Playing status on game day, which means he'll probably play, and that's exactly what Phil Martelli of St. Joe's wanted to hear. Meanwhile, NKU is back on the boards in the Division II Elite Eight tomorrow night. The opponent in Louisville is Texas A&M Commerce, and if this team led by seniors Paul Cluxton, LaRon Moore, Shannon Miner can take the title, Coach Ken Shields has promised a costly personal reward. In the past, he shaved his head, pierced an ear. This time he promises a tattoo and a symbolic decoration at that.
My wife struggled with it, but in all truthfulness, if we win it, we're going to have a shamrock on that left arm over here, and there's 3 extensions to the shamrock. It'll be emblematic of each of the 3 seniors and what they've meant to me and to this program, and the stem will be indicative of the entire team and the staff.
Tragic news here. Former Memphis basketball star Baskerville Holmes was
budget. NKU has some unfinished business they'll begin attending to tomorrow night in Louisville when they face Texas A&M Commerce in the Division II Elite Eight in Louisville. This is essentially the same Norse team that took Fort Hays, Kansas to the wall in the championship game last year, and that close call with the national title is fueling their drive this time.
You kind of want to be relaxed, but at the same time you want to be hungry and a little nervous because that's good to be like that. And I think that going down there this time, I think we're going to be really relaxed, but we have something we want to prove, and that's to win a national championship.
Kentucky coach Rick Pitino says it's the most remarkable recovery he's seen in
clean look at the loaded up the bus for the Elite Eight in Louisville. The Norse runner-up in the country last year, and they are hoping that experience should help them this time.
A lot of teams won't know how it's going to be playing back-to-back, and the emotion is going to be real emotional, and I hope it carry on for us, since we've been there last year.
All right, second round of the women's.
This campus is empty today because of spring break. But you can bet a crowd of Northern basketball fans will show up in Louisville this evening. The North are once again in the Elite Eight of the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. Betty Listerman says she'll be there tonight as well to watch her grandsons Andy and Kevin Listerman make another run for a national title.
And when that team plays as one, because they have all played together, they live together, and they all know what the other one's going to do. They know what's expected of them.
10 of the 14 players on Northern's roster played high school basketball in the Cincinnati area. The North made it to the Division II championship game last winter. Tonight at 9, they take on Texas A&M Commerce in the Division II quarterfinals.
The University of Kentucky
And we'll have a live report from Louisville as NKU gets ready to play in the Elite Eight. It's all next here on 9 News.
Thanks. Sure. The NKU basketball players... Yeah, really. Okay, Pete, thanks. Sure. The NKU basketball players are preparing for one of the biggest games of their careers. Coming up next, John Popovich has a live report from Louisville, where they're about to play in the Elite Eight.
But first, let's see how...
Nothing But Net, brought to you by Mike Albert Auto Superstores and Kroger.
And DJ's here. Now we're talking college basketball.
Yeah, this is the other team.
And we're going to touch on some high school hoops as well, because Kentucky teams are dominating the headlines at the moment. Neither Derek Anderson nor Allen Edwards will make the Wildcats NCAA show tomorrow night. We'll have the latest on UK coming up at 6 o'clock from San Jose, California, while the Commonwealth already has one winner in the books today and hopes for another tonight. Sports Director John Popovich with all the details from Louisville. John?
Hi, DJ. The NKU basketball team has spent the last 2 days in Louisville, and I saw some of the players today, and they are itching to play some basketball. They'll get a chance to do that tonight. You know, they won 28 games this season, 3 more wins, and they are the Division II national champions. It's been 4 years in the making and 3 seniors that have been very instrumental. Tonight's Nothing But Net. They came to NKU 4 years ago. Shannon Miner, the nifty guard from Coleraine. Paul Cluxton, the soft-spoken sharpshooter from Lynchburg, Ohio. And LaRon Moore, the pliable leaper from Lexington. In some ways, they've managed to do it all here.
You've won the league a couple times. You won the regional a couple times. You've been to the final game, MVPs, records. You know, you name it, us 3 seniors have done it.
Well, almost.
They've accomplished about everything possible except the national championship.
2 years ago, they made it to the NCAA tournament. They lost to the eventual champion. A year ago, they took it a step further and went to the Elite Eight. They lost only in the title game.
It's hard to sleep at night, and I'm always picking my fingers, and I'm just worried. I'm just kind of anxious about playing in that, because I want to get out there and play and just prove to everybody in this area and that we can win a national championship.
This is our last year here, and this is the only time we can do it, win a national championship, so we got to go out here and do it.
Miner, Cluxton, and Moore are the foundation on which NKU has climbed to the top. Miner is the first player in Norse history to record 500 assists and 1,000 points in his career. Moore is one of NKU's greatest scorers, and at 6'6", also the top rebounder in school history. While Cluxton's a sniper from the field, a great shooter who set a phenomenal NCAA record by hitting 91 straight free throws this year. If he played at a big school, he'd be on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, it's nice as a personal goal, and I'll look back at that after the season, hopefully after we celebrate Saturday night.
The 3 Norse seniors have accomplished a great deal for themselves and their school. The mood has changed. Games are now well attended. Highlights are on the nightly news. And little by little, NKU has become a player.
We've changed the scenery around here, and hopefully we can win 3 more games and get some more attention.
The Norsemen starting tonight try to make it back to the title game. They play Texas A&M Commerce, 9 o'clock here at the Convention Center in Louisville. We'll have highlights at 11. Meanwhile, we
vacationing. Their son, who was attending OSU, is killed. We'll tell you what happened.
And Northern Kentucky University is beaming with pride and hoping for a win as they move ahead in the NCAA championship.
Year.
Across the river, another local school is busy building a basketball dynasty. Northern Kentucky University is back in the NCAA Division II Elite Eight. Last year, NKU went all the way to the Division II title game. Joe Webb has the story of a local team stocked with local talent that is drumming up a lot of local interest.
The NKU Norsemen are back on the road to the Division II Elite Eight in Louisville. Take on Texas A&M Commerce tonight. The students aren't on campus this week in Highland Heights. It's spring break at Northern, but even without the students here on campus to follow them down to Louisville, the Northern basketball team will have quite a following. Betty Listerman will be there.
They are a very special bunch of kids. And they're all just a nice bunch of guys.
And 2 of them
They're very, very special.
The two very special players Betty refers to are Andy and Kevin Listerman, her grandsons. Like 10 players on Northern's roster, the Listermans are locals, growing up in Northern Kentucky, playing at Covington Catholic, where Dad was an assistant coach. Northern's team has so much family support, it adds up to some serious fan support.
We went to Richmond, Virginia for the pre-season tournament. And Northern had, I don't think there was a player on that team that didn't have family there. And grandparents there.
And Northern basketball hasn't always drawn a crowd. Jenny Miner can tell what season her son Shannon's game pictures are from just by looking at the size of the crowd.
That's what's special, too, how they've come along in the years. And people are just taken to them, you know. I mean, they really like them.
And what's not to like? A local school with 70% of its roster from local high schools. Guys who look like the kid next door because they are the kid next door. And tonight at 9, a crop of kids who grew up around here make their second run at the national title.
You know, it's just kind of awesome.
Simple enough. Joe Webb, Channel 9 News.
And it goes without saying, we wish them very well.
We absolutely do.
More news coming your way. Including this, he's on receiving the NKU North face Texas A&M Commerce in the Division II Elite 8 in Louisville. The Lions don't have consistent size in their lineup, but their quickness could be a problem.
They used to be called East Texas State. A very, very athletic team. They go up and down the floor offensively very quickly. Now, defensively, with all that quickness, they don't show a pressing mode about them. But they run a good half-court offense.
Meantime, Boone County's
cover he's seen in 22 years of coaching. He's talking about Derek heart disease.
And the NKU Norse fight to get to the championship, and one of the stars sets a new record on the way. A live report coming up at Sports.
Number is 872-1441. Well, tonight's a big night for basketball fans in Northern Kentucky.
Danny Jansen has all the action tonight in sports.
Hello again, everyone. For a second straight year, the NKU Norse have advanced to the Final Four of the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. They've made a date for tomorrow night with Lynn University on the strength of an impressive 79-67 win over Texas A&M Commerce at the Elite 8 in Louisville. That's where Sports Director John Popovich is standing by live with more. John?
Hi, DJ. It's quiet now, but the NKU Norse, as you said, have taken that first step as they go after a Division II title here in Louisville. They won over Texas A&M Commerce tonight. Some of the neighborhoods of Northern Kentucky had to be dark tonight because all the fans were down here cheering on the Norse. It was a 5-point game midway through the first half when NKU went on a run. Kevin Listerman underneath to LaRon Moore. A moment later, threw up a rainbow, and the lead was a dozen. LaRon Moore from the baseline near the end of the half. NKU led by 11 at the break. The Norse kept their distance for the second half. Paul Cluxton, a long three, but Texas made their run. When Chris Metzi stuck this shot back, they trailed the Norse by only 5 points. But Todd Clark found an opening between two defenders. That stopped the bleeding, and then Texas made the mistake of fouling Paul Cluxton, shooting a three. He calmly knocked down foul shots. He has now hit 94 in a row, and Northern Kentucky goes on to win this game 79-67. As you said, 9 o'clock tomorrow night, they're going to play Lynn University, and I'll tell you, they look disciplined, they look tough, they look good tonight. John Popovich live in Louisville at the Convention Center. Back to you, Dennis.
Thank you very much, John. Yesterday's youth.
As long as we win, I'll be happy. We want to win a national championship because we want to be remembered as a team, not just to have 3 good years, but to win a national championship.
Once more, NKU stands at the threshold of a dream. For a third straight year, the Norse enter the Division II Elite Eight. Tonight in Louisville, they make their bid for a spot in the Final Four. They're in the second half against Texas A&M Commerce. They lead 59-47, about 8 minutes to go. By the way, Paul Cluxton has hit 3 more free throws. His streak now at 94 straight. Meanwhile, it's been a bad 24.
Cats lose another guard. We'll have a report from Solomon Wilcox, who is with Kentucky out in San Jose.
And Northern Kentucky was looking to advance to the Division II semifinals tonight. We'll tell you all about it in Sports News next.
It's spring clean family. Outback Sport. The newest Outback from Subaru.
Back in October, Northern Kentucky was talking about one thing and one thing only, a Division II national championship. Tonight, the Norse were playing for the right to go to the Final Four. Coach Kenny Shields was relaxing early in this one. He could rest easy the way Shannon Miner was playing. Miner tips in his own miss. Later, the Norse pounded into LaRon Moore. Now, watch the acting job by the defender here. Watch it right there. Oh, that was something. The refs didn't buy it. Moore gets the easy basket. Another guy coming up big all season is Clifford Clinton. He works his way in, and if the North keep getting the close shots like that, they should have no problem. Here's another easy basket. Damon Lane takes it himself, and the North win it 79-67. They'll play in the Final Four tomorrow evening. The North will meet Lynn, Florida tomorrow night at 9.
Size of your heart, not the size of your lead. Where people look past the zoom mirror in your shoe.
40-29 lead into the locker room. In the second half, Clinton gets 2 as the Norse increase their lead. And then the Lions came on. Chris Metz gets the offensive rebound and put back. Greg Ward then gets the inbound pass and snakes to the hole for 2 of his 18 points as A&M Commerce is to within 5 at 52-47. But the Norse promptly go on an 11-0 run. Clinton does the reverse thing, 63-47 Norse. And there was no looking back as Clinton finished with 18 points, including 2 on this quasi-dunk and the foul. LaRon Moore gets the only jam of the game for the Norse as NKU wins it 79-67.
As I said, Cliff Clinton leading NKU with 18 points, Paul Cluxton 15, and 10 each from LaRon Moore and Kevin Listerman in a good.
Other parts of Northern Kentucky have their hearts in Louisville at the moment. That's where Northern Kentucky University is playing in the Division II Final Four. Sports Director John Popovich is live with more. John?
And DJ, in Division II, the Elite Eight has already been cut down to the Final Four, and tonight we get down to the Terrific Two. Northern Kentucky University is in the national semifinals once again after a 12-point victory Wednesday night. Tonight, some notes from Division II, where the action was fierce, the crowd was loud, the ice cream was delicious, and these two kids were jealous. It's also where Texas A&M Commerce players at times snickered at the size of NKU.
A couple of guys were laughing at us when we walked out because we were kind of small, and there's some big old boys.
Coming up biggest was NKU center Cliff Clinton, blocking on one end and hardly missing anything on the other.
But he was about 8 for 10 from the field, and he rebounded the ball for us.
The bench came up big. Todd Clark is a bruiser with a nice touch, and reserve Damon Lane is silky smooth. He's a defensive demon and an offensive spark. The Norse are tough once they get a lead. Why? Shannon Miner was killing time doing his Marquise Haynes dribbling exhibition. And always there's the great shooting of Paul Cluxton.
When we have the best free throw shooter in almost the world, you can, give him the ball, and if he gets fouled, it's almost 2-3 points.
Cluxton hit all 3 of his foul shots. He now has 94 straight this season without a single miss. All in all, a good start for the Norse, who still look hungry.
Well, John, I tell you what you're really worried about is maybe a team that had tremendous hunger, maybe all of a sudden getting a little stale on you.
No stillness yet. NKU appears fresh and ready for another title run. Tonight it's the Norse against Lynn University, a big athletic team from the state of Florida. They have won 20 games in a row. And of course, DJ, we will have highlights at 11. John Popovich, live in Louisville, back to you.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, it is the end.
team has a big game tonight. Northern Kentucky is playing for a trip to the Final Four in Division II. Tonight at 9, the North play Lynn, Florida, down in Louisville. Last night, NKU coach Kenny Shields could sit back and take it easy. The North were getting a lot of shots close to the basket. Cliff Clinton led the North with 18 points. If the inside is working, you may as well stay with it. This time it's Todd Clark laying it in. But here's the easiest basket of all. The breakaway by LaRon Moore. 12.
We're the favorite. We're used to being the guys, sneaking up on people. Now we're the top dog, so we have to be make sure we don't get complacent at all, and just stay focused, and that's the main thing.
This afternoon in the high.
Should tip it up in about 5 minutes. As for NKU, the North's come ever closer to the Division II title. Tonight in the semifinals, they're playing Lynn College. Right now they're in the second half. They lead 44-32 with about 15 minutes to play. Baden sports big hopes.
In sports, Xavier coach Skip Prosser spent the day in Columbus. Was he talking to Ohio State about their job vacancy?
And Northern Kentucky was looking to advance to the Division II finals for the second year in a row. Sports news next.
Big Blue's not the only Kentucky team doing well in a national tournament, George.
We have our own Final Four to root for.
Yeah, the North, man. They are doing it up. Northern Kentucky is making a pretty good run for its first ever national title. A win tonight against Lynn University out of Florida, and the North make their second straight trip to the Division II championship game. Coach Kenny Shields was seeing a solid game out of the North. LaRon Moore had a quiet first half, though, except for this. Moore buries the three-pointer. Cliff Clinton did not have a quiet first half. Tough. His shot's blocked. Clinton gets it right back and scores. The North led by as many as 12. Shannon Miner knocks down the three. Northern really was having its way against Lynn in the second half. It's Andy Listerman inside, and the North do it. They pummel Lynn 79-58. NKU plays for the Division II national title Saturday against Cal State Bakersfield. And
Lots going on in basketball tonight. Let's get right to DJ.
NKU makes it to the finals.
One is over, one is still in progress, but the NKU Norths are back in their version of the big show, the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. The little team that made it all the way to the championship game last year, is making its second straight grab for the gold ring. John Popovich is with us live from Louisville with more on their 79-58 win over Lynn College. John?
DJ, warm up that bus because Northern Kentucky is making another trip down I-71 Saturday because to play in the Division II National Championship game. The Norse ran past Lynn University in the semifinals tonight. Gray basketball tonight, and another big crowd from Northern Kentucky out to see it. The Norse led from the start. Shannon Miner falls back. That's the three. And when Todd Clark turned inside, NKU led by 10. But NKU went cold late in the first half. Lynn drew to within 5 points. When Clark put one back from the baseline, the Norse had a 7-point lead at the half. NKU spurted ahead by 10 early in the second half. Paul Cluxton knocked down this three from the wing, and then LaRon Moore, the nice spinner from the side, in control. Lane again strong off the bench. Lane down the lane. Watch the weapons. Listerman with the drive, passes inside. Damon Lane hits, and as Denny said, NKU goes on to win this game in very impressive fashion, 79-58. They play Cal State Bakersfield in the finals. That's on Saturday at 12:30. John Popovich live in Louisville. Back to you, DJ.
John, I have to ask you, did you see any of our sizable contingent from the floor crew down there this evening?
There's quite a few as all. It seems like everybody that works at Channel 9 went to NKU and was at this game.
Thank you very much, John.
We'll have a live report from San Jose. Plus, NKU wins a chance for a national championship. Brad Johansson has those stories and more next in sports.
semifinal. And the Norse got to the national championship game in Division II last year. They came up just short. Tonight, taking on Lynn College for the right to get back to that game. Kenny Shields had his troops primed to win it all. Shannon Miner bombing tonight. 4 3-pointers, 18 points for him. Paul Cluxton still perfect on the free throws. 4 threes of his own tonight. Bang, 18. Cliff Clinton had 13 points, 14 rebounds. These guys shut Lynn down. They're going back to the game, 79-58.
I just know this. It's great to be in it, but we're not going to be pleased unless we win it.
Let's hope they win it on Saturday against Cal Bakersfield in high school.
Game advances to the Final Four. And this note from Division II, the Northern Kentucky Norse will play for the national championship Saturday against Cal State Bakersfield. That after pummeling Lynn from Florida last night, 79-58. We've got the highlights of that game coming up in our next half hour. Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
That's 2 years in a row that they've been to that game. Hopefully they can win it all tomorrow.
Boy, the way you just talked about that, I would have thought you were playing.
I love it. It's good
Yeah, I
stuff.
could tell. Well, just before you rush out the door,
Before, and in sports, Kentucky's 83-68 win over St. Joseph's late last night sets up a rematch with Utah for a berth in the NCAA Final Four.
yeah, it should be a pretty good game, too. And NKU has made it to the championship game in Division II again. Denny Jansen has more.
Thanks. Here's your sports capsule. The Northern Kentucky Norse are back in their version of the big show, the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. The little team that made it all the way to the championship game last year, making its second straight grab for the gold ring. 79-58 over Lynn College last night. The Norse led from the start of this ball game. Shannon Miner falls back for a 3. This kid can shoot. And when Todd Clark turned inside, NKU led by 10 points. However, they went cold in the first half. Lynn drew within 5. When Clark put one back on the baseline, the Norse had a 7-point lead at halftime. NKU spurted ahead by 10 early in the second half. Paul Cluxton knocked down a 3 from the wing. And then LaRon Moore, the nice spinner from the side. The Norse were in control. Damon Lane again strong off the bench. Lane down the lane. And watch the weapon. Listerman on the drive. Passes inside to Damon Lane. He hits. NKU moves on 79-58. More sports later. Back to you. Into the Elite Eight with an 83-68.
Kentucky has the hail bop, but you know, it's Tim. Last year, just a thrill to make it. Get out of here. It's just a thrill to make it there. NKU plans to bring home the national title this year. Give me the coach. They dismissed Lynn College last night in the Louisville semis. Shannon Miner, huge from the arc. 4 threes, 18 points. Paul Cluxton was huge from the arc. 4 threes, 18 points. Can I be Department of Redundancy Department? 79-58 the final, and now they're Cal Bakersfield, the final Saturday, 12:45 right here on Channel 12. Kentucky. All right, while you're getting caught up in all the madness, NKU is going nuts, and they are going back to the national championship game in Louisville. Shannon Miner got a little large against Lynn last night. 4 3-pointers for Shannon, 18 points. Paul Cluxton, the king of the world from the free throw line, 98 straight throws, hasn't missed one, had 4 threes last night. Cliff Clinton, 13 points, 14 rebounds, nice dish, a blowout win. And on to Cal State Bakersfield, the title game. They beat them last year. It's Saturday, 12:45 right here on Channel 12.
I feel we're going to be ready, and the fellows got some ideas about, winning this thing and bringing it back to Northern Kentucky University, where I don't think we've never had one.
I think they're going to have one on Saturday.
So, hey, we beat another good club here. We beat them by double figures, and we're going to be ready for the next one.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at Thursday night's highlights between between NKU and Lynn.
The Norse faithful were boisterous as NKU tried to earn a second straight trip to the championship. Ron Moore gets the Golden Black started by drilling the three. Shannon Miner then buries the tray as the Norse led it 10-4 early on. However, Lynn comes back to within 2 at 12-10 as Victor Oxmacher drives into the lane and gets the layup. But NKU goes on an 8-0 run. First, it's Cliff Clinton to Andy Listerman who gets the reverse layup. Shannon Miner then cans a three-pointer. Ty Clark then comes up with the flip hook as NKU led 20-12. Clinton then goes up and gets 2 more off the glass as the Norse led 26-14. Late in the half, it's Paul Cluxton with the 18-footer to give NKU a 33-26 advantage. The Norse led 35-28 at the half. In the second half, it's Cluxton with the 3 as NKU led at 40-30. Next, it's Clinton to Moore, who misses, but Cliff gets the rebound and scores as NKU led 44-32. With the Norse up 52-40, it's Cluxton knocking down another tray as the lead was 15. DeMond Lane then buries a three-pointer as NKU led at 58-42. Lane contributed 7 points on the night. Miner then hits another 3. He had 4 in the contest and 18 points on the evening. Paul Cluxton matched Miner with 18 points and 4 three-pointers as the Norse advanced to Saturday's national championship game against Cal State Bakersfield with a 79-58 victory.
Of course, after that victory on Thursday night, and had to be feeling real good, and
With all of the season continues for both Kentucky and NKU. In fact, the Norse play Cal State Bakersfield for the Division II National Championship tomorrow in Louisville. John Popovich has the details.
The hardest working basketball team in Division II is back in the national championship game. The Norse from NKU didn't squeak by Lynn University Thursday. They roared by them.
Our guys are playing well. We never anticipated to beat Lynn University like we did tonight, but 21.
Once again, it was the usual cast of characters. Shannon Miner had 18. Paul Cluxton had 18 as well. And Cliff Clinton was again a force underneath with 13 points and 14 rebounds.
They didn't box me out too well tonight, and I got back and got some rebounds, key rebounds to keep us in the game.
DeMond Lane for the second. He rolled off the bench, scoring twice during an NKU run early in the second half. NKU snapped Lynn's 20-game winning streak, despite being undersized again and perhaps underestimated.
A lot of teams around here, they laugh at us because we're small and we have a paperboy point guard, Shannon Miner. And paperboy? Yeah, he looks like a paperboy, and the Listermans look like your average construction workers.
The convention center is quiet until Saturday when NKU will play for the national title against Cal State Bakersfield, the same team the Norse beat in the national semifinals a year ago.
Last year we won so many close ones that it was kind of just amazing to get to the championship game. But this team doesn't believe that we're finished yet, and we're not going to be finished till about 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon.
This year the task will be difficult again. Cal State has a Division II All-American and muscular T-Boo Stewart. Cal State's bigger and stronger than the Norse. So far, that hasn't made a difference. John Popovich, Channel 9 Sports, Louisville.
Boone County got off to a
to do, and we want to win this national championship. We don't want to be runner-up anymore.
And I feel truthfully that, we've got a great chance against Bakersfield, and yet I know that we'll be the underdog, but we got a great chance.
The Norse hope to see a good crowd tomorrow in Louisville. There's plenty of seats available. They'll tip it off at 12:45. Today,
Division II, NKU is 1 win from a national championship, meaning its coach is 1 win from a tattoo. 55-year-old Ken Shields will have a clover dyed onto his arm if the Norse win tomorrow. NKU faces Cal State Bakersfield for the title at Commonwealth Convention Center in Louisville. No opponent has come within single digits of NKU in its 4 tournament games. While the Reds continue efforts
Northern Kentucky University Norse are poised on the verge of an NCAA Division II national championship as they prepare to play Cal State Bakersfield tomorrow. They were in the same situation last year, coming up second best to Fort Hays, Kansas, but the Road Runners will be all the more determined tomorrow. Consider that NKU beat them in the quarterfinals last year. A buzzer beater, it lends yet another element of drama to tomorrow's national telecast.
You don't get too many opportunities to win a game at the buzzer or in the last 5 seconds like we did last year. But we definitely like another opportunity to get them and maybe not make it quite so close.
Their team and their tradition, they're going to be favorites, and it's going to be a great basketball game. Last year's first-round game with them was really sensational.
The North Kentucky Cousins, the Wildcats, meantime,
tomorrow night, Kentucky North will meet Cal State Bakersfield for the Division II championship. Here's how NKU's main man sizes up the competition.
Cal State Bakersfield is a perennial pod. Right now, you know, they are the strongest program overall over the last 8 or 10 years in Division II. They've won 2 national titles and were runner-up 1 other time. And Pat Douglas has been there for a long time, and it's going to be a big challenge.
The North hopes to see a big crowd down in Louisville. They'll tip it off at 12:45.
For basketball, if you're a fan, we hope you are. Cal State Bakersfield and Northern Kentucky in the men's Division II championship. Then the committee will gather at 3 o'clock Eastern time on the road to the Final Four show. We'll break down the weekend as we head into our Elite Eight. By the end of the weekend, we'll have our Final Four. UCLA and Minnesota play at 3:40 Eastern time. That's the Midwest Regional Final. And then at 6 o'clock Eastern time, the West Regional Final, the Utes and Kentucky. 2 1-2 games. Thanks for watching the games with us tonight. We had a lot of fun last couple of years, didn't we? We charge into the weekend. Be careful. Good night, everybody.
in the final over Nebraska. Kentucky may not have to wait past tomorrow to celebrate a national championship. Northern Kentucky, that is, the North, Division II title game tomorrow, 12:45 right here on Channel 12 against Cal State Bakersfield. Paul Cluxton has broken all free throw records on the planet, 98 in a row without missing this year. He had 18 points last night. Records are nice, but nothing replaces the national title.
I feel we're going to be ready, and the fellows got some ideas about, you know, winning this thing and bringing it back to Northern Kentucky University, where I don't think we've never had one.
Do it, Kenny. The only place you can watch the North go for the title right here on 12:45 tomorrow afternoon.
Today.
Go to the Division II title. 12 News sports reporter Tim Bray kicks off our March Madness coverage with a story about a team with some unfinished business to attend to.
After Thursday night's convincing win over Lynn College, NKU is back in the national championship game. Their goal this time is not just to participate, they expect to win.
About, you know, winning this thing and bringing it back to Northern Kentucky University, where I don't think we've never had one.
A year ago, the North went toe-to-toe with Cal State Bakersfield in the first round at Louisville. Hot shooting carried them to a one-point win. That victory gave them the momentum to finish as national runner-up. And his North made it a goal to get back to Louisville this season. Their outside attack has been as consistent as a year ago. Plus, the North at its Palm Beach Junior College Center, Cluxton. That additional baseline strength may put them over the top. This group, by and large, is together.
This could be achievable. I mean, we're a real talented team. We got good interior, good outside game, and I mean, we got good chemistry all together, so this is a good chance to win national championship.
The North have attained 4 of their 5 goals that they set in October, including their first 30-game win season. All that's left is winning the national title. Tim Brett, 12 Sports.
And you could see the NKU North battle Cal State Bakersfield for the Division II title at 12:45 this afternoon right here on Channel 12. The Kentucky Wildcats.
For the second straight year, NKU made it to the national championship game, only to see the other team raise its banner at center court. I'm Dan Horde. I'll have details from Louisville.
Northern gets the championship to the bubble with them underneath. Tapped away, Stewart, and the Bakersfield has won the Division II men's championship for the third.
We'll never get put behind me. I mean, it's going to burn, in the next year, and probably for a long, very long time.
That was NKU junior Andy Listerman. If you missed today's Division II championship game, you missed the most exciting college hoop game I've seen this year. It featured a great comeback by NKU, but a gut-wrenching finish. For the second straight year, NKU played for the championship trophy, but the North started the game miserably. NKU had its hands full with Kibu Stewart. The former UNLV star had 18 points and 21 boards, helping Bakersfield build lead. But the North battled back. Shannon Miner with a burst of speed and a soft touch. He had a dozen points. Then, just before the halftime buzzer, Miner finds Andy Listerman for the open three. NKU actually led 30-29, but it didn't last. This is one of 5 three-pointers by John Gaines, giving the Roadrunners the lead with about 10 minutes to go. The North never caught up, but got within 1. And with time running out, Listerman got an open shot, but couldn't put it in. NKU comes up just short for the second straight year as Cal State Bakersfield wins the championship 57-56.
They deserve to win because of the way their effort and work ethic has been. But again, it was not to be, and we're disappointed. But yet we've got our head up.
If you had told me 4 years ago coming here, we'd be national. I would have never believed you, and I guarantee there's 280-something teams out there that wishes they could be in our spot. So I love my teammates, I love the fans, so it couldn't be a better career for me.
Sad to see it end that way for Miner and fellow seniors LaRon Moore and Paul Cluxton, but they had terrific careers, winning 92 games in 4 years. Cluxton, by the way, did not shoot a free throw today, meaning he ended the season perfect, going 98 for 98. Well, the news wasn't all bad for hoop fans.
Tied up here, 35-35.
But today it played for the Division II title for the second straight year. State, the North, or...
I mean, who in the country ever heard of Northern, you know?
But here, too, in Division II, basketball is a big deal.
It makes me really proud to be an alumnus of the university.
Whether a or a major university, basketball in Kentucky is life.
Is there any chance they're going to lose?
Nah. I got faith in these guys.
And today, all eyes were watching. In Montgomery, Bob Holtzman, Channel 9 News.
All right, the Wildcats gave their fans a few tense moments tonight, but it all turned out well, and they are on their way to the Final Four. Sports Director John Popovich here with the story. People kind of expect an exceptional pass
University. The Norse were beaten in the title game this afternoon by Cal State Bakersfield, a disappointing finish to a great season. It sure wasn't the way the Norse wanted to get started. They couldn't hit a thing. And Cal State Bakersfield jumped out to a 15-point lead.
We were 3 conversions in our first 17 possessions, and that was a very slow. Had that for a month of Sundays happen to us.
Little by little, NKU came back. Damon Lane helped off the bench. So did Todd Clark. They've been a big part of this tournament. And when Shannon Miner found Andy Listerman in the corner at the half, he knocked down a 3, and NKU had grabbed the lead. Back and forth, the two teams went in the second half. Down 2, Cliff Clinton prevented any further damage with 2 marvelous blocks. With under a minute to go in the game, Clinton got this one to drop. NKU trailed by only 1. It looked like it was over when Shannon Miner missed a shot from the wing with about 4 seconds to go. But after a missed Bakersfield foul shot, a long NKU pass bounced off a Bakersfield player. NKU still had life.
I was smiling then. I thought we'd pull it out.
They almost did. The inbounds pass went to Andy Listerman, but he couldn't get it to drop from the baseline.
You think about being a hero and you end up as 0, you know. A lot of people are going to know me for missing that shot.
It was difficult for NKU to stomach. Twice to the title game, twice coming up second best.
We put so much work in this summer, and just to come up short by 1 point, and now we got to start all over and try to get back again.
I love my teammates, and I love my coach, and I love the fans, so it couldn't be a better career for me.
As I tell our players, sometimes God's greatest gifts are his refusals.
The loss can't take away from the fact that NKU had another fabulous season, continues to generate even more interest in an area already ripe with outstanding college basketball.
Fortunately, we just couldn't make one of them go. We came up 1 possession short.
The North lose 3 key seniors, but there's plenty coming back. Perhaps they can make another run next season. The Reds were taking on the Astros down in Florida. This is Ed Wayne tomorrow evening.
You know, that Andy Listerman from NKU, he's just so hard on himself.
Oh, man, that's tough.
He'll
get over it. You know what? The guy plays great, plays hard basketball for him. He'll get over it and be fine.
Okay, let's hope so.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, continued cool, I guess.
Continue cool.
Good evening to you. The Commonwealth in the national spotlight today. Kentucky teed it up to return to the Final Four to defend their championship. We'll get to the Wildcats in a moment. But first, the title game in Division II. Northern Kentucky back for the 2nd straight year, and they were playing for the national championship. The Norse expected success, and they nearly pulled it off.
Miner. NKU knew all about the Cal State Bakersfield and All-American Kibu Stewart. They didn't expect Bakersfield to live up to their nickname, running out to a 21-6 lead. Stewart was as advertised. Bruiser with the ability to score.
We held off a lot, on the other players, and he got a lot of tip backs, offensive rebounds, something that we shouldn't held off on because they can't really score unless he score down low.
The North never caved, chipping away at the lead. Just before half, Shannon Miner drew, drove, and dished. Andy Listerman popped the triple, and NKU remarkably had a 1-point lead at the break.
Basketball's a game of runs, and that's what happened. And we, cut within a couple before the end of the half, and then we hit the big 3, and we were up 1.
An athletic game, especially in the second half. Twice on 1 possession, the North swatted away the Birds' bid to take control. Meanwhile, Miner started finding room in the lane. The dribble drive effective as Miner scored a dozen. Final minute now. Norris down 3. Cliff Clinton painted a gold off the window. NKU trailed by 1. And the Norris had one last chance. 2.5 seconds to play. The ball went inside to Andy Listerman. Not enough oomph. The clock ran out. Bakersfield holds on 57-56. The last touch will be forever etched in Listerman's mind.
I tried to put it up as quickly as I could, and I felt, I got hit on the arm, and I still feel that way. And it's not because I missed the shot, but
It was very unfortunate because obviously if he makes the shot,
or goes to the free throw line and converts, we're here with the national championship.
And congratulations to Ken Shields and his Norse. Now,
today is a day that many in Northern Kentucky have been waiting for an entire year. Up at BW3 in Highland. Try and cheer Northern Kentucky University onto a national championship. The North were playing in the Division II championship game in Louisville, trying to avenge the loss in last year's championship game. Quite an accomplishment for a school that's often overlooked.
There was always a lot of attention on UK and U of L, and of course they're great powerhouse basketball schools, but Kentucky's developing a tradition of its own in athletics, and it makes me really proud to be an alumnus of the university.
And the entire school and fans have plenty of reason to be proud tonight, despite that heartbreaking one-point loss for the North. Sports Director John Popovich here with that story.
Yeah, you consider all the schools in the entire country that play Division II basketball, they were able to be in the championship game for the second year in a row. The Northern Kentucky Norse finished another great season, second best for the second year in a row. The Norse played Cal State Bakersfield hard to the very end today. Cliff Clinton, well, he had a big shot near the end to draw NKU to within a point. There's Cliff hitting that ball, but a three-point shot from the wing wouldn't fall. Shannon Miner tried this one, that with about 4 seconds to go. And then they had one more chance, about 2.5 seconds to go. Andy Listerman couldn't find Iyer on the last-second inbounds pass. Cal State Bakersfield wins the Division II title for the third time in the 90s. And a great run by Ken Shields and his North comes to a close. 30 victories in 35 games is still terrific, but again, they can't claim the title. More, of course, coming up in sports. And, of course, we're here from the coach and also members of the NKU team.
All right, yeah. Congratulations to him. All right, thanks, John. News and baseball. North showing great heart today in their Division II title contest. Coming up next, John Popovich has the very exciting but unfortunately disappointing final seconds of this championship game. Hats off to the North, sincerely, even though they probably didn't play their best game.
No, it certainly wasn't the game they had saved up for and worked so hard to do, but that sometimes has to do with the opposition. They came so far, played so hard, and fell so quickly today. The Norse from NKU were stopped short of a national title for the second year in a row. This year it was even more bitter because it was by a single point. Let's go to Louisville, where the Norse got off to an atrocious start against Cal State Bakersfield. NKU couldn't hit a thing, and Bakersfield, especially John Gaines here, he couldn't miss. This is how things were going for the Norse in the early going. They would get missed, or they'd get blocked as they did here on one end of the court. Then they would follow with a defensive lapse. Cal State was hurrying the ball up court and getting the good look at the basket. Under 12 minutes to go in the first half, Gaines hits another three. Bakersfield had gone ahead by 15 points. That's when NKU got its act together. Shannon Miner brought them back this three-pointer from the wing. DeMond Lane off the bench, grabbed the rebound, hit the jumper from the side. And then Todd Clark, also off the bench, maneuvered in some very heavy traffic. He got them back in it. NKU had the last shot of the first half when Andy Listerman beat the buzzer with this three. The Norse had taken the lead 30-29. Back and forth game in the second half. When Clark laid this one in, Cal led only by a point with under 2 minutes to go. Free throws put Bakersfield up by 3, but then Clinton threw up a prayer in the lane. It fell. It was a one-point game, 51 seconds left. But then NKU couldn't get anything to fall. Miner missed the three from the wing that skimmed the rim. Then with under 3 seconds left, the inbounds pass went to Andy Listerman. He just couldn't get it to fall from the right side. Another great season with another miserable finish. And here's the heartbreaking story from Louisville, a one-point loss to Cal State Bakersfield, who beat the Norse on the boards 56-35.
You think about being a hero and you end up at zero, you know. A lot of people are going to know me for missing that shot. You know, we drew it up just like that.
You know, there's so many other things that You know, if we would have just done this, it would have just done that, we could have maybe been there. So, you know, there's a lot of things, you know, just because Andy missed the last shot don't mean anything. Just because I missed the second last shot, and I missed the free throw earlier in the game, you know, we lost by 1 point.
I'll be back again next year, and I can get this shot again next year, but I ain't want things to go out on the loss like this.
It's hard. I mean, we put so much work in this summer to get back here, and just to come up short by 1 point. And now we got to start all over and try to get back again.
They were letting us have opportunities, but in all truthfulness, they're a very good team. We had our chances, even as it turned out at the end, and it was unfortunate we just couldn't make one of them go. We came up one possession short.
Cliff Clinton and Shannon Miner each had 12 points for the North, who again gave it a great run. Congratulations to a great trio of seniors who played their very last game: Shannon Miner, Paul Cluxton, and LeBron Moore. In college basketball,
Come back.
And George Vogel is in with a sports update, including a nail-biter for the NKU North in their quest to become Division II champs. That's when News 5 Today continues.
While in Division II, this one's going to sting NKU for a long time. The North very well could have won the national title yesterday. It was NKU against Cal State Bakersfield. Bakersfield takes control of the game early. Kibu Stewart was tough to stop. Bakersfield goes on a 16-0 run. But the North comes storming back with 10 minutes left in the first half. Shannon Miner drains 3 of his 12 points. Then, first half, it's Andy Listerman from the corner, and the North take a 1-point lead to the locker room. In the second half, Cliff Clinton goes to work. He scores 12. The North hang on to the lead. Then it's Paul Cluxton working for the shot. He hits from long range. The North lead by 4. Cal State Bakersfield comes back firing. It's Eric Barnes. Cal takes a 1-point lead. In the final seconds, the North have a couple of good chances. Shannon just misses. Then with 2 seconds left, it's Andy Listerman with a shot underneath, but that shot misses. It was that close for the North. They just missed the Division II championship, 57-56.
You're thinking about 0, you know? A lot of people are going to know me for missing that shot.
We're here again, same as we were last year. Now we want to get a championship, and we felt the same way last year. We just, you know, wanted to get back to this point. We did, but we just didn't finish it off.
We had our chances, even as it turned out at the end, and it was unfortunate we just couldn't make one of them go. We came up one possession short.
3 key seniors, but there's plenty coming back. Perhaps they can make another run next season.
Good work out there.
And we can't wait to hear much more later in sports. We'll see you in a bit, Walt.
Well, for another Kentucky team, today's game brought the toughest of heartaches.
Northern Kentucky University lost the Division II championship for the second year in a row, this time by just 1 point. Tonight, 12 News reporter Gwen Ellis has the story of a man and his team that made it to the top, almost.
The trumpets are tuned, the cheerleaders are waiting. The youngest fans are hanging on to that feeling of almost. Almost national champs. Almost in 1996, almost in 1997. 2.5 seconds, 1 play. Almost.
My heart goes out to them because I know how bad they wanted it, and I knew they deserved it. You know, they really deserved it this year.
The players lost, but they're not losers to this crowd.
They wanted to win the national championship, and by gosh, they almost did it.
3 seniors know their college careers ended with an almost.
The man of the hour, the man of the year, Coach Shields.
And we wanted it very much, and of course it would have been the pinnacle of my career if I could have been a coach of a team that won the national championship.
But as Coach says, it wasn't to be. For the man who tells his players he loves them, who tells them to believe in God, family, school, and basketball in that order, shaping good citizens is winning.
I've learned a lot from this, and maybe this means something down the road in life. Something good's going to happen, and something good's going to come out of this, and that's the way I approach it.
This team has a reputation as unselfish players who achieve poetry in motion. Many say that it's been Coach Shields who's really turned this program around in the 9 years he's been here. That's why some say, even though it sounds improbable, they think they'll be back to the championship next year. As the second-place trophy sits quietly on the edge, the dream has already started again.
We didn't get it this time, but maybe there's a third time when it's even better that year.
Gwen Ellis, 12 News.
And Coach Shields says he's proud of the fact that his team gave a television audience some 30 million a thriller to watch.
Wow. Congratulations on a great season. Turning now to other news in the
When Sport Trap continues, a team that finished second in its class for the second straight year.
But of course, they're number one in our hearts. Kenny Shields and his Northern Kentucky Norse closed out an outstanding season yesterday at the Division II National Championship. We'll take one last look when we come back.
Costing the Lakers point guard a $10,000 fine from the NBA.
It's just about time for us to take it to the house, but before we do, one last look at the NKU Norse.
It was their second straight year playing in the national title game, and their second straight coming up just short of a national championship.
Monica West put it together. We certainly enjoyed covering the Norse another year.
We'll see you next week.
They came out physical. We knew they was physical. We didn't know that.
Gets his own rebound. He's open, goes up, gets it. There's the battle.
We felt like we were doing some good things on defense, but Kiva was going to get his points and he's going to get his rebounds because the guy's going to the NBA. He's going to get his things done. So
comes back in, rebounds up and in.
You know, we cut the margin.
5 seconds. Minor dish for the lead. They got it.
We were up 1.5, so we felt pretty good going in the second half.
Northern Kentucky finishes on a 24-8 run.
Usually have good second half runs, but couldn't pull it out this time.
Kentucky has the basketball. They are down. They're going for the full court pass to Listerman. It was deflected out of bounds.
I was smiling and I thought we'd pull it out. But
it'll be played in by Kevin Listerman. Northern Kentucky looking for the Division II championship to the brother Listerman underneath. Tapped away Stewart. And this game is over.
I will never get put behind me. I mean, it's going to burn probably for a very long time. Like I said, the sun's going to come up tomorrow, and I got to go on with it.
There's a lot of things, just because Andy missed the last shot don't mean anything. Just because I missed the second last shot, I missed the free throw earlier in the game, we lost by 1 point.
We just didn't quite have enough here today, and we got to give them a lot of credit. But that in life, there's a lot more to life than the outcome of a basketball game.
It's hard. I mean, we put so much work in this summer to get back here, and just to come up short by 1 point, and now we got to start all over and try to get back again.
Well, you're thinking about being a hero, and you end up at 0. A lot of people are going to know me for missing that shot.
There's so many other things that, if we would have just done this or would have just done that, we could have maybe been there. So, there's a lot of things, just because Andy missed the last shot don't mean anything. Just because I missed the second last shot, I missed the free throw earlier in the game, we lost by 1 point.
They're a very good team. We had our chances even as it turned out at the end. And fortunately, we just couldn't make one of them go. We came up 1 possession short.
If you had told me 4 years ago coming here we'd be national runners up 2 years in a row, I would have never believed you. And I guarantee there's 280-something teams out there that wishes they could be in our spots. I love my teammates, and I love my coach, and I love the fans, so it couldn't be a better career for me.
The NKU Norse, who lost the Division II championship by a single point to Cal State Bakersfield on Saturday. Terry, Ralph, and Scott are here talking basketball tonight, and I'm told that NKU guard Shannon Miner's on the line. Is that you, Shannon?
Yeah, that's me. How you doing, Papa?
I'm doing
Scott,
just fine.
Terry, Ralph, how you guys
doing, Shannon?
I'm just wanting, to take some time right here just to kind of thank the fans and that, because they've really supported us over the last 4 years. And I know I'm speaking for the other 2 seniors and the rest of the team and the coaching staff. And if it wasn't for them going down to Louisville to support us, we would have never gotten this far. So I just kind of want to take this time just to thank them, because we didn't really have a chance to.
You were down there yesterday, right?
Yeah, Shannon, you need to tell Andy not to be so hard on himself about that last-second shot. From where I was sitting, it sure looked like he got fouled on the arm.
Yeah, I said it earlier, just, you guys just had, I missed it. And I missed the free throw. That kind of stuff, because, you can't always look back. You just got to keep playing, and, other things could happen in the game, but, it happened for a reason. So sometime down the road in life, hopefully something good will come out of this, and that's the way you got to approach it.
Yeah, I'd like to say congratulations to you and all of Northern Kentucky University, because I think you guys have represented them really well the last 2 years, and I think that what you guys have done in the last 2 years has put Northern Kentucky basketball on the map. Now you even got them talking about going Division I right now. You guys got a lot to be proud of. Hey, listen, he ever thinks he's going to be a 0 because he's married. Shot.
Right.
There's not a lot of people man enough to take that last shot. And he doesn't need to be as hard on himself as he is right now. And I'd just like to say congratulations to you and the guys over in Northern Kentucky. I think Kevin Shields does a marvelous job with the program, and I'm very happy for them. I think they continue on, and I think the tradition they started there now will continue.
This is what you're looking at, the kind of program that Ken Shields and NKU has. When you have one of their star players, Shannon Minor, calls up to not only apologize for their performance, but actually congratulate the fans for supporting them and stuff. And that just says a lot for not only Shannon, but the university as well.
Shannon, you get to finish up school now and then become a coach? I know you've indicated to me you'd like to
coach and just kind of give back to the people that kind of helped me. And I would just like to send kids to college like people helped me. And just, I love the game so much. I love to be in the gym. And tomorrow I'm maybe working out a little bit just because I love the game so much. And it's just like all the guys on our team. Everyone loves the game and want to be a part of it. And then we want to get back to that national championship game again. And I just got 1 or 2 more comments again. I just want to tell Terry I'm looking forward to playing against him this summer in the Summer League. And I got one challenge for Scott Durrell. Maybe this summer when he comes to speak at our camp, maybe he can challenge Paul Cluxton to a free throw contest. Because I think Paul might get him. So yeah. I just wanted to make that comment.
You want him to bring his wallet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll bring mine.
Shannon, thanks for 4 great years. Thanks for calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's...
up a little short.
Well, let's go back and take a look at Saturday's highlights of the national championship game between Northern Kentucky and Cal State Bakersfield. A nice contingent of NKU fans were on hand for Saturday's national title matchup. The scoring started by nailing the jumper as the Norse went up 2-0. Bakersfield counters as John Gaines nails a 3, and that was the start of a 16-0 run by Bakersfield. Next, it's Kibu Stewart getting the rebound and scoring as he was fouled. Gaines then nails another 3 to make it 9-2. Michael drives into the lane and gets the deuce as NKU found themselves down 6. Damon Lane then ends the score. Following this Kevin Listerman miss. However, Gaines gets another 3 as the Roadrunners take their biggest lead of the day at 21-6. The Norse begin to come back as Todd Clark nails the short buckets to make it 23-12. Takes the open lane. The layup to cut the lead at 9 at 23-14. Seconds later, Minor connects on a tray as the deficit was now down to 6 at 23-17. This Clark bucket with 5 minutes remaining in the first half brings the Norse back to within 2 at 25-23. But Bakersfield counters as Kibu Stewart follows another miss with a bucket as the Cal 9-23. However, the Norse finished the first half with a flourish. First,
who gets the layup off. Cluxton then feeds Andy Listerman, who gets a layup. Half, it's Andy bearing the three-pointer as the Norse score the final 7 points of the half and take a 30-29 lead into the locker room. The runners reclaim half as Kibu Stewart rolls one in. However, Clinton answers for the Norse by getting 2 off the glass. 5:33 lead as Paul Cluxton uses the screen from Clark and drains the three-pointer. With the contest even at 35, Mark comes up with a steal and takes it all the way for the slam. Northern grabs a 41-39 lead as Cluxton knocks down the 2. Then comes a barrage of threes. First, Gaines nails one for the Roadrunners. Miner then gets one at the other end for NKU, but Gaines then comes back, knocking down his 5th tray of the game as Bakersfield was up 45-44 with 10 minutes remaining. With the Roadrunners still up, Jackson scores as he is fouled as Bakersfield took a 50-46 lead with 8:16 remaining. Cliff Clinton had a great game for the Norse defensively. Charles Wolfeck's shot attempt. Then, seconds later, he blocks Kibu Stewart's attempt as the senior was providing a clinic on defense. At the other end, Clinton feeds more for the layup as the Norse were back to within 2 at 52-50. Answers with a 3, led by 5. Moore then comes back for NKU by Clinton then dishes to Clark for the were to within 1 at 55-54. With the score 57-54 inside 1 minute, Clinton makes a 57-56. Free throw. NKU had the ball down when Shannon Miner misses an open three-point attempt and was fouled. 9 seconds remaining. Kibu misses the free throw, and Clinton gets the rebound as the Norse call time with 3.3 seconds left. Clark then throws the baseball pass down court, which deflects off player out of bounds as the Norse had the ball with 2.5 seconds remaining. Then, on the inbounds play, it's Kevin Listerman passing to brother Andy, but the shot is off the mark as Bakersfield claims their 3rd Division II crown in the last 5 years by winning 57